Morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, December 16th, 2014. You can follow us on Twitter at CATEX TV. In completely unrelated reinsurance and insurance news, but a big story nonetheless, the Taliban has attacked a military-run school in Pakistan, killing about 120 students, it seems, right now. They wanted to target the Pakistani military in revenge for attacking their own families. The total may rise. The Pakistan military said 4 Taliban fighters had been killed. They were searching for the remaining gunmen. There were apparently 6 suicide bombers that were sent to the school. This is confirmed by the Taliban. They were under orders to allow the youngest students to leave, but to kill the rest. The Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is on his way to Peshawar, which is where the school was located. This is really quite a graphic situation. Television footage is, quite frankly, terrible. It's not a good situation. Certainly, the Taliban has once again revealed their true colors. Meanwhile, in Sydney, Australia, there's a public mourning in progress. Australia is in a state of national shock, mourning the death of 2 Australians who lost their lives at the cafe siege there that ended with the killing of a lone Iranian-born ISIS sympathizer who took 17 people hostage. The Prime Minister and his wife joined tens of thousands of Sydney residents who left bouquets of flowers and wrote tributes there in a condolence book. The 2 people who were killed were 2 women, one of which apparently jumped in front of a pregnant woman to save her life. The 50-year-old gunman apparently was described as a loner, and oddly enough, none of Australia's new tough anti-terrorism surveillance and monitoring laws picked him up. He was completely off the grid. The Bank of Russia has raised its key interest rate up to 17% from 10.5% in a move to boost the ruble. The action comes after the ruble's value has fallen about 50% over this past year, battered by Western sanctions as well as the plunging drop of oil upon which Russia's economy depends. The Russian economy apparently is still being forecast by its own government to sink into a recession next year. Fairfax Financial Group, based up in Canada, has entered into a deal to buy QBE's insurance operations in the Czech Republic, Hungary, and Slovakia. It's expected that the existing business and renewal rights of these operations will be transferred to Fairfax by the end of the third quarter 2015. The 3 businesses generate more than $40 million US in profitable gross written premium across several general insurance classes, including property, travel, and general liability. There was no mention of QBE's Ukrainian business, which is also up for sale. According to Aon Benfield, insurance-linked securities issuance has reached a new annual record. It's apparently going to come in at about $8.4 billion already for 2014. More importantly, there's been a new record established regarding collateralized reinsurance capital. As of June 30th, 2014, collateralized reinsurance capacity, excluding cat bonds, has reached a record of about $36 billion, compared to $29 billion in 2013 at the same time, and just $7.7 billion back in 2009. Jed Rhodes, one of the most respected people in the insurance industry and the chief underwriting officer and president of Markel Re, says that property cat retro rates are plunging by 30% on average. This is for the January 1 renewal business. He also noted that casualty reinsurance rates are also softening in the region of about 10%. He said that he was speaking at the Insurance Insiders Roundtable in Bermuda last week. He said that the most depressing area of all is retro, which is retrocession business, when one reinsurer cedes off part of its liability to another reinsurer. That's off 30% on average, and that's really shocked us. He said this is really all based on the expected loss. And what's happening is that the retro writers are looking at the expected loss in almost the same percentage as the company that's ceding the business off. He said once the two begin to converge, that's a sign that the apocalypse is upon us, especially when rates are dropping. It's one thing if the rates are very high and they're converging, but in this instance is the exact opposite. In Indonesia, an explosion at the Krakatay Posco steelmaking plant in Banten yesterday afternoon left 7 workers injured. The company has confirmed that the accident occurred. 2 are critically injured. The plant is a joint venture company between Krakatay Steel and Posco Korea. It processes iron before it becomes steel. It was a large explosion, apparently. No word yet on the condition of the plant. And that hailstorm that battered Brisbane, Australia, and parts of Queensland at the end of November is the gift that just keeps giving. Insured losses have now exceeded $800 million Australian dollars. This is the worst storm to hit Brisbane in over 30 years. It's triggered so far 86,000 claims. The revised loss estimate means that the storm ranks as one of the country's most costly disasters, and it's certainly the costliest disaster since Cyclone Yasi in 2011, which generated industry losses in excess of 1.4 billion Australian dollars. Suncor, one of the big insurers down there, said that it's likely going to incur $250 million of losses, after which the reinsurance kicks in. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.